Alright, good morning guys. Wednesday, April 24th, just coming up to 8:30 and just having a look at all the parts, and I'm really happy with the tank. Came out really well. Again, almost don't need to sand and buff it, it came out so well. But we're going to do it regardless. And it's got a few little pits that we can make look a little bit better, so we will do that. I think we'll do the tank first and see how that goes, and then we'll continue on to probably the rear fender first, and then we'll do the front fender last. So that's the plan. So we'll break out I'm going to do 1,000, 1,500, and 2,000 grit, or maybe 1,500, 2,000, 2,500. I'll see what I've got in the cupboard. Anyway, I'll bring you back once we start sanding on it. Alright guys, here's what we've got for sandpaper. We're going to go with the 1,500 grit initially, followed by the 2,000 grit, and then to the 2,500 grit. Got a bowl of water with a drop of Dawn in it. For polishers, we've got a Porter Cable DA. We've got a small Air DA. We've got this Meguiar's drill mounted DA. I've also got a big Makita 8-inch DA, which is going to be too big on these things, so we'll have to make do with what we've got. I was going to get a smaller, like a Griot's Garage 3-inch DA electric polisher, but anyway, we'll make do with what we have, like I said. Okay, just turned 11 o'clock, just got a call from the tire place, so we're going to head up and pick up our tires. We're making progress on the polishing on the tank. To be honest with you, yeah, it's looking pretty good, but I think I could be better. I'm going to blame my equipment. I've never had much success with the smaller DAs, like the Air DA, or even this rotary DA, the electric DA, the Porter Cable. I've never had much success. The only success I've really had is usually with the big buffer, and it's just too darn big to use on this tank. So anyway, it's looking not bad. I think I could do better, so I think we're going to invest in a small 3-inch electric DA, as I'd mentioned. So we'll probably stop there, and we'll put it back on the bike as it is, with the understanding that we'll probably maybe go after the black bits on this tank a little bit more at a later date. Anyway, I'm going to go pick the tires up. Alright, 1:45 back from picking up the tires. $102 to get them mounted and balanced, so I guess that's not too bad. Anyway, we're going to give the tank one more quick buff before we call it good. I did pick up some new polishing pads while I was out, so hopefully that will help me a little bit. So we'll continue on, and I'll bring you back with some updates along the way. Okay, doesn't look too bad, I think. So we'll move on to the front fender now, and that'll be it for the polishing. The tank just sitting over there ready to go. Good enough, I think. Not perfect, but good enough. Hey guys, we're going to call the wet sanding done. Yeah, I think they look okay. Alright, so I guess what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start to reassemble the rear fender. Put all the bracketry, lighting back on there, and then we'll go on from there. That's the plan. The bike is absolutely filthy just from dust, basically, so we've got to do a lot of cleaning of the bike. As we go to reassemble it, we'll clean up the bits that need to be cleaned up. So anyway, we'll get to it. We've got to do one more thing before we put the bracketry on. I may as well attempt to do the pinstripe. So we're going to do red pinstripe on this to separate the colors. We're going to hug it up tight to the black. I know some people actually put a space in between the white and the black, but I'm going to try it, I think, hugging right up to the black and see what that looks like. So we'll go ahead and do that now, just to stick on 3M vinyl pinstripe. If I don't like it, I should mention before you go ahead and start pinstriping on something you've just used some compound and swirl remover on, you definitely need to, in the area where you're applying the pinstripe, usually what I do is I rub it down with some, or just wipe it down with some rubbing alcohol to get rid of any of the compound or the polish that was behind where you're going to be applying the stripe. Alright guys, there she is with the pinstripe. I think it looks pretty good. Breaks up that black and white a little bit. Let me get my shadow out of the way. So we'll do something a little funky with the tank badge to bring that pinstripe in as well. At least I have a plan for that. So we'll see that when we get to it. And believe it or not, I actually cut the pinstripe before I put it on, and I just guessed at the length, and I had about an inch left over, so pretty good guess. One piece all the way around. All right, let's move on to something else. So now here comes the hard part. Here's all the components for the rear fender. So got to manage to get all that back on there without scratching the paint. No big deal if we do, I guess. Gives it a little bit of character, but we'd rather not if we can help it. So I think what we'll do first is we'll take the chain guard inside, and we'll give that a quick clean up, and we'll give the harness a quick wipe down as well, just to get all the grime off of it, and then we'll start the assembly. Okay, we've got the wiring harness running on the inside of the fender. We've got the chain guard put back on. We've got all the grommets put back in with a little help of some dish soap and some heat from the heat gun. So we managed to get those back in okay. So I think we're getting ready to fit up the tail light, the license plate holder, and the bracket that holds the turn signals. So we'll go ahead and do that. It's coming up to 5 p.m. and we're getting there. We're at the wiring stage in the rear here. I've just got to recheck my notes to check the connections for the signal lights. And the tail light is just a plug-in connector, so I'm good there. So I'm just going to check my connections, come back out, and we'll pop the tail light on, and that will be complete for the rear fender. So far so good. I don't think I scratched it. Anyway, we'll continue on after I check the wiring diagram. Guys, just coming up to 5:35, and the fender is done. The rear fender is done and all wired up. So one more job done. I guess we can move on to the next job. I think what we'll do is maybe we'll break out the rear tire and get that cleaned up. It's still got that blue protective covering on top of the white wall, so we're gonna have to clean that up. And in order to do that, I've got some spray nine and some Mr. Clean erasers. Reading the Drifter forums, a gentleman by the name of Canadian Ratman, unfortunately now deceased, swore by spray nine and magic erasers to get the white walls clean, or to keep the white walls clean, so that's what we're going to do. So we'll go grab that tire from the truck, and let's get that back on the bike. Alright, there's the new tires. Here are Continental Legends, and obviously with the blue protecting on the white wall. So we're going to go ahead and get the spray nine. We got the Mr. Clean scrubbing pad, and we'll go to town. That looks a little better. Took a little effort to get them back to white, but they look good. I'm sure they're going to be a pleasure to keep looking white once they're on the bike, especially with those big fenders. So I know the hassle they're going to be, but I think it's going to be worth it in the end. So we'll bite the bullet. We'll clean them when we can and when we need to. All right, 7 p.m. Rear wheel's back on. A little bit of a struggle, but it's back on. So I think we can go ahead and fit the rear fender now. So that'll probably be all I get done for tonight, and we'll have to wrap it up for tonight. Got to work back tomorrow, so got to do my regular work night stuff. Got to do laundry, etc. The house is kind of a mess. Got to do that. So I think putting the fender on will be it for tonight. All right, guys, the rear fender is on. I'm digging it, so that's a good thing since I put quite a bit of work into it. So yeah, so I think we're going to take a bit of a break. We may actually continue on. It's only about 7:15, so we could probably play around for a little while anyway. Maybe we'll get the new seat on, or we'll get the tank on. We'll do something just to go forward a little bit. We'll probably leave the front tire till a later date. I just realized I haven't changed the plugs yet, so tank's gonna have to wait. It'll be much easier to do the plugs with the tank off. So I think we'll probably call it a night, and we'll probably come back out here and just clean the mess up out in the garage and get things straightened away, and then we'll continue on when we get the next opportunity. Now, there's one simple thing I can do. I can put those triangular closing pieces in, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Get them off the table over here and out of the way. Okay, I promise I'm going in to take a break, but we've got the side cover back on. We've got the little triangular cover pieces in on both sides. So I'm going to wander around the other side. That's looking good. All right, break time. All right, just coming up to 8 p.m. Laundry can wait. Let's do the plugs. If I do the plugs, I can get the tank on. All right, we're going to do the pinstripe on the tank. Plugs are in. Thank God I did them while the tank was off. They can be a real bitch, that rear plug. It can be done apparently without the tank coming off, but it's definitely easier with the tank off. Oh, look who showed up.
Yeah.
Lester.
Make sure you don't put it upside down.
Anyway, so we'll go ahead and we'll stripe that tank. All right, 9:40, the tank is on. And everything else is on. The speedometer. Looking not too bad. So I think the last thing I'm going to do, and I really mean it this time, I gotta go. Let's try the new seat. Nobody's seen the new seat yet, so I'm interested to see what it looks like on the bike. We'll just sit it on there loosely, and we'll have a quick look at it before we call it a night. All right, give me a sec. I gotta go get it. It's in the house. All right, guys, it's coming together. So there's the Solo seat. It's a seat made by Road Chrome. They don't make them anymore. This one's used, but in good shape. So I think it fits the bike. Yeah, I think it's going to look good once it's all back together. Looks nice and comfy. All right, we're going to do a cleanup. And then we're going in, getting ready for work tomorrow. 10 o'clock. A long day. All right, we're out. Have a good night. Thanks for watching.